how to destroy a state. Okay. Now we all want to destroy a state, right? Like, it's like we all want
On
to
the
do
morning
this.
of the 28th of February 1994, Captain Robert G. Wright is about to make history. He prepares to engage 8 Bosnian Serb airplanes spotted in a no-fly zone. This would be the first military engagement in the history of NATO. A radar airplane issues a warning.
Well,
Land or exit the no-fly zone or re-engage.
okay.
After the second warning, Captain Wright is cleared to attack. He locks on and fires. NATO is here to stop the war in the former Yugoslavia.
You guys think like when those niggas are getting shot at, they're like panicking or some shit? I'd low-key be panicking. Like I'd like crash my plane out just panicking. Like I must go through like hella training for that shit.
A
Low-key.
nation once built on brotherhood that was tearing itself apart along ethnic lines. How did this happen? Yugoslavia seems special. When multi-ethnic empires were falling apart, Yugoslavia formed a federation of 6 republics. When superpowers divided the world in 2 blocks, Yugoslavia crafted a third. And when the West thought war was something of the past, Yugoslavia started the worst conflict in Europe since World War II. I traveled all across the former Yugoslavia to show you the past, present, and future of this region.
Nobody
Damn.
wants
He actually went there? Yeah.
war. If it
Christ.
happens, well, we must be ready.
I found this book about countries of the world. It's almost 50 years old. It has description and images from all over the world. Yugoslavia is the largest country of the Balkan Peninsula, it says. It talks of the Balkan Mountains, elongated islands, a federation consisting of Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Montenegro, Serbia, and Macedonia. This federation has 4 languages, 3 religions, and 2 alphabets. It was founded during World War I. For a modern viewer, that might seem weird. Why make a federation like this when everyone else is talking about nationalism? But actually, it's not weird at all. For the most part, this area has been dominated by foreign empires. I'm here at the river.
The scenery actually looks beautiful as fuck. I know it's just the good parts because niggas always do that. They only show the good parts, but like it's actually
When the
beautiful.
Roman Empire gets divided in 2, this river is the border. On this side, the Western Roman Empire, on the other side, the Eastern Roman Empire. And this will have huge consequences in the future, because these sides will both develop an own take on Christianity, Eastern Orthodox Christianity and Catholicism. 2 religions fighting over who Jesus loves more. But that's not the only lasting effect of foreign.
Which I always found dumb about like religions. Like most of them preach like peace and shit. Myself, I'm a Christian, but most of them preach peace and shit. But then like the next second, they'll go to war with each other. Like Catholics and Orthodox, they'll go to war with each other. Islamic and Christians, they'll go to war with each other. Like you're preaching peace, but you guys like keep fighting each other for no reason. Like stay on your side. Let those other people stay on their side. Let those other people stay on their side. Stop like breaching into other niggas' shit, man.
Empires. When the Ottoman Empire invaded the Balkans, they brought Islam. Some groups converted. But despite these religious differences, the people in this area start to believe they have more things in common than divide them. They're all Slavs. Many speak these 2 languages that are so related they are mostly called under one name. And they feel oppressed by 2 empires. Serbia is the first to successfully fight for their independence, but it's the independence wish of a Bosnian Serb that will unite the Slavs. It just needed a world war to happen.
Oh shit. I gotta check this
This
shit out, by
is
the way. I can't
Sarajevo.
even see chats.
It's been called the Jerusalem of Europe.
Hold on.
You can find mosques, Orthodox and Catholic churches, and even a synagogue built by the Ottomans.
Okay.
But Sarajevo is mostly known for
Yo,
something else.
why is my
I'm
chat so
standing in the exact
fucked?
spot where Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb,
Why
stood
you watch
when he
gay?
attacked Franz Ferdinand.
Why you watch gay? Me dead ass? Okay. Yeah, sure. My fault.
the
My
heir
fault.
to the Austrian-Hungarian throne, and killed him.
I am a Yugoslav nationalist, aiming for the unification of all Yugoslavs, and I do
Why you watch? You know, yeah.
not care what form of state, but it must be free of Austria.
In 1918, Gavrilo's dream came
That's
true.
crazy. That guy started a whole world war. That one guy shot one person, started a whole world war. That's actually like crazy. Like you think like he's in the afterlife or something, and they're just like showing him everything he did. Like he killed millions of people.
The Kingdom of the Serbs, Croats and Slovenes is born. This makes a lot of sense. The Croats and Slovenes are safe from potential aggression from countries like Italy and Hungary. Serbians are spread over a big area. They can now unite in this country. And the victors of World War I are happy to take the Austrian-Hungarian Empire apart. This kingdom later gets rebranded into the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. But quickly Croats and Serbs clash over how to rule this kingdom. Croats want more federal independence. Serbs want a strong centralized state. Before this can be resolved, Yugoslavia gets invaded by Nazi Germany and its allies. And just as in the rest of the world, what happens next is not pretty.
I think the mustached man had like any regrets in what he did. Like I think like the whole time he was going through it, he was like, "Yeah, this shit's right. Like I'm doing the right thing." Or like you think like at some points he was like, "Yo, shit, low key fucked up. Let me try to stop. Like I'm already too far in. Like I'm already too far deep. I can't stop this. I might as well just like keep going." Like you ever think like he thought that or some shit? Like,
I'm here at Jasenovac. This is the death camp run by the Croatian fascist regime, the Ustaše. It's basically Croatia's Auschwitz.
The atrocities committed here are not done on an industrial scale, but with knives, hammers and scythes. It goes so far that the German commander said the Croats
you know, awful time, but shout out Luka Modric, the Croatian soccer team, it's sad they couldn't really get far this year, but like, they had a run. They had a huge ass run. Like third place, second place, like when they were coming from like jack shit, like shout out them.
have gone raging mad.
Not for this, but like, their soccer team, shout out their soccer team.
Hitler even intervened. The thing about World War II in Yugoslavia is that it's not an occupation, it's also a civil war.
Yo, sorry for pausing again, but you just say that like their death camp was so bad that the mustache guy intervened?
Croats
Oh,
have gone
hell
raging
no.
mad. Hitler even intervened. The thing about World War II in Yugoslavia is that it's not an occupation, it's also a civil war. There are three groups. You have the fascist Croat group, the Ustaše, there is a loose federation of Serbian royalist resistance groups called the Chetniks, and there are the
Why they have a pirate flag, bro? They got the Jolly Roger on their shit. What the fuck?
communist partisans. Both the Ustaše and Chetniks are extreme nationalists. Nation-states cleansed of other ethnic groups are all the rage in this time. The Chetniks wanted to unite all Serbians in one state.
Yo, what's up? You
The
fuck with
Ustaše.
drill? Yeah, I used to fuck with drill heavy. I fuck with like mostly any type of drill. I'm be so for real. Like I've listened to Philly drill, NY drill, like mostly every stage drill I've listened to. I think the one I fuck with the most, low key, is either NY drill or Philly drill. Like I don't really fuck with the new Chicago shit, like fully chopping them. Like they're chill, but like I don't really like fuck with it. Like I don't know, the flow just seems off to me. But I think I just need to train my ears.
Croatia without Serbs, Jews, and Roma. And the partisans want to have an independent socialist state where all ethnicity live together.
Like let me know if y'all want me to react to drill, bro. I'll do that shit too. Like, I'll do anything. Yeah, that sounds weird, but like I'll react to anything. You feel me?
These aims conflict and will lead to a lot of bad behavior. This monument lists 83,145 casualties, with the majority Serbs, Jews, and Roma that were murdered. But most weren't killed here.
Can you react to a Dutch drill song for me, my guy? Trust you'll fuck with it. Oh yeah, I remember I used to listen to UK drill too. Drop the song in chat, then right after this video, I react to it. I got you.
Here, in total, around 340,000 Serbs alone were murdered by the Ustaše. In response, Chetniks kill Croats and Muslims. Partisan forces fight Ustaše Chetniks and also kill some civilians. Now it's important to point out that Ustaše never had the support of more than 10% of the politically active population, and that not all Serbs supported the Chetniks. Many Serbs joined the partisans, and these partisans are the largest resistance group in the Second World War. They managed to liberate themselves without much foreign aid. But this new country needs a story to unite people after the civil war. There is one man that will think of such a story.
I got you, twin. Just give it like, damn, it's gonna be lengthy. Give it like 20-30 minutes. You feel me? Yeah, give it like 20-30 minutes. I got you, bro. You could tap back in 20-30 minutes. I don't want to like waste your time or anything. You feel me? But like, I'll for sure react to it. Like, I definitely got you, bro.
This is Kumrovec, the birthplace of Josip Broz Tito, the leader of the partisans. Kumrovec is located on the border between Slovenia and Croatia, and Tito himself was born from a Slovenian mother and a Croatian father, in that way embodying the Yugoslav ideal. He understands that people in Yugoslavia were, quote, so closely related that they could live together, and so intermingled that they had to. The story he invents is that all people in Yugoslavia fought together against fascism. They live in a socialist brotherhood, and all countries joined the republic out of their own free will. The slogan Bratstvo I Jedinstvo shows that all ethnicities get the same rights. To push this new story for the nation, the Communist Party built these futuristic-looking monuments all over Yugoslavia that commemorate victims of the Second World War.
Not gonna lie, those look tough as fuck. I mean, so for real, like, I know, like, it's probably propaganda and shit, but that shit looks tough. Like, look, that shit looks tough as fuck.
Now don't be mistaken. Tito is a dictator, and people that criticize the party go to jail or worse. Religion is suppressed. But the story actually works.
Okay, so I was right. Jesus, yeah, dictator. Okay, yeah.
Intra-ethnic relations can generally be described as good.
Every year, people have it better. Healthcare and education are free. A consumer society is built. Is this a socialist utopia?
Dobrodošli v naši čudoviti Jugoslaviji. Pridružite se nam v najuspešnejši socialistični državi, saj vendar naša dežela ponuja vse. Od čudovitih plaž do visokih gora, katoliške cerkve, otomanske mošeje in pravoslavne katedrale. Tu stojimo za bratstvo in enotnost, ter gradimo betonsko utopijo z domovi za vse. Potujemo na vzhod in zahod in se ponašamo s svojimi športnimi ekipami. Tu ne govorimo o tem, kaj so naši starši počeli med vojno, ter proizvajamo lastno Coca-Colo. Naši vrhovni voditelji ima prijatelje.
I think that cola is gas. I don't like Coke. I like Sprite and shit. Like Pepsi and Coke are like ass to me. Like let me know. Like y'all fuck with Coke or not? Because like Loki is like.
Povsod po svetu.
Upamo, da bo živel večno. Večno.
Tito did not live forever. His death is often seen as the reason for the collapse of Yugoslavia. That without him, violent ethnic tensions would have to erupt. When war in Yugoslavia did break out in 1991, Western commentators knew the Balkans were a place where hatred and distrust lingered to this day. Popular books like this came out that talk about Bosnian villages that were full of savage hatreds. Hatred that had deep roots in some distant tribal past. Popular YouTube videos also talk about the ethnic tension as the main cause for the war.
Constant ethnic and religious division, it seemed that it was only a matter of time before a breakup would be imminent.
And although the conflict played out along ethnic lines, the idea that they were the cause of the conflict is a myth that just won't die. Before the 20th century, there had actually never been armed conflict between Serbs and Croats. Northern Serbia and Macedonia were also multi-ethnic, But both were generally peaceful in this period. And when Tito died, the country did not suddenly collapse. Socialist Yugoslavia existed for 11 years after he passed, almost a quarter of its lifetime. What did happen is that ethnic identity was shaped by elites during a time of traumatic changes. To start, Tito failed in preparing a successor, so the presidency rotates around the different republics. This leads to a power vacuum. A previous change in the constitution already gave the individual
Bosnia was part of this? Did he say that earlier and I just don't listen? Yeah.
republics more power. And the richer republics soon feel a lot less solidarity with their poorer neighbors. Look at this graph of economic growth. The world was hit by a bad global crisis in the 70s and the 80s. Many countries are suffering in the early 80s, but then recover. In Yugoslavia, for 10 years, the situation only gets worse. It borrowed money from the IMF, but that demands neoliberal reforms in return. They push the country into a bigger crisis. In the 1990s CIA World Factbook, Yugoslavia has unemployment of 50% and inflation of 2,700. So this is a country with mass unemployment and never-ending crisis, where the same bread can be 4 times as expensive in a single month. And then something happens that will have an even bigger impact. To understand what that is, you have to look at this photograph. This is from the 1984 Winter Olympics, organized in Sarajevo. The Yugoslav delegation.
Yo. Look at the comparison of athletes. Like, United States and USSR just got like so many people. They're just
Delegation is sandwiched between the
Yeah.
USA and the Soviet Union. That was also their position on the world stage. Yugoslavia was one of the founders of an organization of countries that was not part of the Western or the Soviet bloc.
That this conference should call upon the powers of the world to disarm. If you want peace, stop preparing for war.
A country where leaders from all over the world visited. Yet the relationship with the Soviets was never easy. The fear of a Soviet invasion kept the country together. But when communism starts crumbling, that fear evaporates. The Americans lose interest in supporting an unaligned socialist country, and people demanding change all over Eastern Europe scare Yugoslav communist elites. How will they keep power? They quickly understand if democracy comes, they need to appeal to national sentiments. And in Serbia, one leader grabs his chance.
I'm here at Kosovo Polja, means Kosovo Field. This place is extremely important for Serbian mythology, because in 1389 they fought a battle against the Ottomans, and this battle would lead to the end of the independent Serbian state. And it's also here that Slobodan Milosevic gives a speech in 1989, 600 years after the event.
6 centuries later now, we are being again engaged in battles and are facing battles. They are not armed battles, although such things cannot be excluded yet.
The Serbian conservative elites made a plan to stay in power. What if they change the conversation? They don't want to talk about the economy, they want to talk ethnic conflict. So they paint Serbs as the age-old victims in Kosovo. On the television, World War II crimes of Croatian Ustaše are being broadcast all the time. Now Milosevic is often shown to be the only reason for the breakup of Yugoslavia and the wars by creating ethnic tension. And he's very important, but just part of the picture. The Slovenians have the strongest economy. They no longer feel like paying for the rest. They give up on the Yugoslav project. The Croats feel the same, and also that they are being dominated by the Serbs. The political elite in Croatia also rediscovered the Second World War and paint all Serbs as Croatian-killing Chetniks. Slovenia, Croatia and Macedonia hold independence referendums that pass, and they set the stage for the breakup of Yugoslavia. As we've seen before, when violence erupted in multi-ethnic communities, it was easily explained as something expected. And if you grew up in the West like me, all Serbs have been painted as blind followers of nationalist propaganda. Actually, Milosevic had a problem. The Serb population didn't want ethnic conflict. Many Serbs were living in multi-ethnic communities in Croatia and Bosnia. These were not multicultural paradises, but they were peaceful. We know this because we have polling data. In 1989, 66% of Croat respondents said relations in their own community were very good or mainly good. The Serbs in Croatia were even more positive. 72.1% said they were very good or mainly good. In the 80s, 29% of Serbs in Croatia were marrying Croats. But when asked about ethnic relations on the level of Yugoslavia, people say it is a lot worse. In Bosnia, where basically everyone lives in a multi-ethnic community, when asked about relationships in the Republic of Bosnia, just 24% say good. But when asked about their own community, 90% are happy. So the propaganda helped to give the idea relationships were bad on a national level. But in their daily lives, in the communities, when people meet Croats, Serbs and Bosniaks, people are happy. Ethnic identity is fluid. It depends.
So it was just the government. Like, it was just the government fucking shit up. Like, everybody was chill with each other.
Depends on the context. People can have overlapping identities. They can feel Croat and Yugoslav. And most people don't wake up thinking about their ethnic identity. They think about their jobs, their family, their daily life. But there are things that can make ethnic lines hard. Fear, economic insecurity, and war.
This is not our flag. This is communist flag.
Serb elites wanted to make war and the defense of so-called innocent Serbians outside of Serbia the only acceptable story. So they send in paramilitary forces to force conflict and atrocities exactly in those areas in Croatia where people are living together peacefully. Even then.
I wonder where this guy is now. He looks pretty young. Like, I wonder if he's still alive. He could like tell his story about this shit.
The language of ethnic hatred doesn't fit.
It was the largest opposition rally in Serbia since Yugoslavia's civil wars erupted.
When the war starts, Serbs don't all rise up to support their ethnic brothers in Croatia. In Serbia, there were mass protests against Milosevic. 200,000 young Serbians don't want to fight and flee the country. And 50% of all
I'd be throwing this up in pictures. Am I repping the Serbs with this? Yeah.
Serbians and 80% of Belgrade residents dodge the military draft.
The enemy of Serbian people, of Serbian future, is not in Washington, Moscow, London or Paris, but right here in Belgrade. And shame on us.
So, far from ancient hatreds or politicians stepping into existing ethnic tension, this tension had to be created to silence the people that don't want war, to make war the only acceptable political talking point, and to keep a hold on power. When that was successful, horrible things happened in Croatia and then Bosnia. These Yugoslav wars in Croatia and Bosnia have been covered countless of times, so I will not give you a day-to-day account. I just want to show you this cemetery in Sarajevo. This place is full of people that died too soon.
Yeah,
War damage
1974 to 1993.
Still visible in the city that had to endure the longest siege in history. In these wars, it's the Bosnian Muslims, the Bosniaks, that suffer the most, mostly from Serbian aggression incited by elites. With the massacre of 8,372 men and boys in Srebrenica as the worst act, a deliberate attempt to erase Bosniaks. But it's also Croats that work together with the Serbs to divide Bosnia. They engage in ethnic cleansing of Serbs and Bosniaks. And some Bosniak soldiers engage in war crimes. This results in an estimated 1 to 200,000 deaths and millions of refugees. In 1995, after the NATO War of Intervention ends with the Dayton Accords, Bosnia was divided in two. A place where people once lived together peacefully, now divided along ethnic lines. Serbia and Montenegro continue Yugoslavia in a new union. But war in the region was not over. If you go to Kosovo, you'll notice something you don't see often these days. Streets named after American generals, monuments to former secretaries of state, and even a full-on statue for American President Bill Clinton. Why do they love America
Bill Clinton out of all people, what?
so much? This all has to do with what happens in 1999. Where ethnic tensions were low in most of Yugoslavia, Kosovo was different. The tension was between minority Serbs and majority Albanians. Serbia saw Kosovo as its province. Kosovar Albanians tried to gain an independent status since the 80s. This was mostly low-level insurgencies and peaceful protests. Under Milosevic, they are suppressed. Still, their leaders support non-violent protests. But when they noticed they were not part of the 1995 peace treaty, Kosovar Albanians were done with peaceful protests. They start an armed struggle for independence. They target the Serbian minority living in Kosovo, attacking religious heritage and Serb security forces. And Milosevic, with his popularity falling again, answers with great force.
What exactly did they killed 8 of my cousins.
Whoa! 8?
Men's boys. 2 of them they were age of 16 years old.
I've seen cut head, the eyes taken out,
Yo, you already cut the person's head off. What are you taking their eyes out
I
for?
have not managed to continue anymore to look on them.
Serb paramilitaries assaulted an estimated 10 to 20,000 women. And with the atrocities in Bosnia on their mind, NATO once again steps in.
My fellow Americans, today our armed forces joined our NATO allies in airstrikes against Serbian forces responsible for the brutality in Kosovo.
NATO expects this to be easy, but Milosevic doesn't fold quickly. So in a controversial move, they start hitting the infrastructure of the country, destroying almost half of Serbia's industrial output. This war was stopped as well, with Kosovo basically becoming a protectorate of the UN.
They're removing the traces of what they see as the Serb occupation of Albanian land.
And tens of thousands of Serbs in Kosovo fleeing their homes.
An hour ago they were farming as they have for generations. Now they were setting out to become a refugee statistic.
Yugoslavia finally ended when Montenegro voted to leave the Union in 2006. If you look back at the 90s, you see communist elites turned nationalists were able to hang onto power by creating ethnic conflict and using that time to plunder the socialist systems. Both in Croatia and in Serbia, the same parties ruled for almost 10 years. In Serbia, individuals become extremely rich. They take over state-owned companies and steal 4 billion of Serb savings. Moderate Serb leaders in Serbia and Kosovo that want change have been assassinated.
Uređeno, apsolutno neuređeno. Ovdje vlada mito, korupcija, to traje punih 30 i kusur godina. Vlada nacionalizam, šovinizam, da ne govorim, jednostavno veliki je stepen korupcije.
In Croatia, the leading party has made the biggest plunder of all countries transitioning from communism. They used the money to support separatist insurgencies in Bosnia. They even used intelligence agencies to spy on soccer clubs that were playing the president's favorite. Really. With socialist Yugoslavia buried for over 30 years, I wanted to know what the legacy of this country is. How do the present and the future look? I can share statistics. Press freedom and corruption indices put former Yugoslav countries low on the list in Europe.
Norway, yo, shout out Holland, man. Shout out Holland.
When it comes to the Human Development Index, a measure that compares economic and social developments, Slovenia is far ahead, with the countries that saw war lagging behind. More than statistics, I was interested in the stories of young people in this area. But I ran into a problem. Almost everywhere people wanted to talk to me, just not on camera. In the Serbian part of Bosnia, I talked for an hour with a Serb my age who had only positive experiences working with Croats, working with Bosniaks, and he was sick of the corruption. But he couldn't tell me any of that, because saying that would be career suicide. The war is still very much alive. And it reminded me of this saying: the past is never dead. It's not even past. On the road to Sarajevo, I saw that Serbian town names were struck through. And although this Bosnian youth I spoke to was positive about living with Serbs,
if some guy did something in the past, it doesn't mean that all people are bad.
Damn, that other guy was like scared of like career suicide. This guy is like, would he be cooked? The other guy was like most likely scared for his life. This guy would most likely be cooked if they watch this video.
With the following:
nobody wants war, but if happens, well, we must be ready.
That's quite an ominous statement. After my uncomfortable laugh, he explained the Bosnians were surprised and most affected by the war.
So that's why I think there should be a little bit of change, like in the readiness, but nothing too serious, to be honest.
I put this to the bravado of the youth, but all the other people I spoke to in Bosnia told me war is a daily topic.
Both the politicians will continue to repeat these things, continue to bring up the war, continue to bring up ethnic national tensions. It's the way they attract attention, it's the way they attract the sort of basal emotions of people.
The massacre in Srebrenica is especially sensitive. The leader of Bosnian Serbs banned schools from teaching about atrocities from the war. And when the UN voted to make Srebrenica an international memorial day, he threatened with separation. In Belgrade, Serbia, the recent past is visibly present. You can find many memories of the bombing and disagreement with Kosovo's move to declare independence in 2008. Its independence had not been recognized by Serbia and about half of the countries in the UN. But not all Serbs feel Kosovo should stay with Serbia. Mana remembered the bombings in Belgrade.
Even more protect ourselves from any explosion or debris, we basically shift the furniture so that our clothes cabinet is in between us and the window. So if the windows explode, at least we have something in between us.
And when it comes to Kosovo,
I personally believe, and I think a lot of Serbians, at least my age, believe that Albanians in Kosovo deserve the right to...
My bad, chat. I was just switching through tabs.
To self-govern, whether that's full independence or to some sort of a high degree of autonomy.
Okay, like Kosovo is such an important part of Serbia, then why was never anything invested in Kosovo when it was part of Serbia? Kosovo is not part of our country anymore.
But then again, if you give them the right to govern themselves, the same should apply to the Serbians living in Kosovo.
Speaking to locals in Kosovo, the memories of the wars were still fresh. They told me their unresolved situation is a constant point of stress, and they have a big fear for a new Serbian attack. So what about the future for this region? The history and end of Yugoslavia is still a big issue in these countries.
Yeah. So bullet hole stabbing to try to fix that house.
But in some way, much older trends are at play. I'm here in Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia, the Switzerland of the Balkans. It's clean, it's beautiful, and a tiny bit boring. But don't tell the Slovenians I said that. They don't like to be called Balkan. And although you can get a typical Balkan burek, I'm at the Kompios if you squint your eyes, you could also be in Austria.
Is European food good? Because like sometimes it looks nasty, sometimes it looks good. I've only tried European food like 4 times, and it was mid. So is it good?
The influence of the Austro-Hungarian Empire is not only the architecture. This map shows you how many people knew to read and write in the Kingdom of Yugoslavia almost 100 years ago. And although socialist Yugoslavia invested a lot in Slovenia's industry, its geography has always put it close to the richer European core. History influences the present, but it doesn't define the future. This region has a long history of ethnic coexistence. The Ottoman Empire was not interested in creating an Ottoman people. They gave ethnic and religious minorities relative freedom. But it's modern politicians that focus not on those long times of peace, but on times of war, using ethnicity to divide people, a trend you can unfortunately see all over Europe. The situation is hard not to make you sad, because the politics are so different from the people. Everywhere I came, I only had extremely positive experiences. The young people I spoke to were open to other cultures. The former Yugoslav states are some of the most beautiful places in Europe. Its people take pride in being the most hospitable. So I would really ask people, visit these countries and talk to the locals to experience this region for yourself.
Looks like that was a pretty good video. That was a pretty good video. I learned some things about Yugoslavia. I learned Bosnia was part of it. I did not know that before. I knew some of the other countries, but I did not know Bosnia was part of it. Moving on. We're gonna watch something. One of our